Hello and welcome to exciting day in the times and lives of EU5, because today is when we get our first patch notes, the first patch for the game post-release. And look, this was always going to happen. The game gets patched and coded and tweaked and balanced and all of that right up until release, but then a couple of days before release, 3 days before release, I don't know how many days before release, you can no longer start to work on it because you got to send that code to Steam and blah blah blah. I don't know how long, but there is certainly a time before release and the people getting it in their hands that things are locked in place, and certain things slipped through. Didn't have time to fix these things. There are certain things that some of the creators pointed out and were told it won't be in time for release, but after release, then blah blah blah. One of the big things of that was the ahistorical formables being achievement incompatible. I saw a lot of people complaining about that after Corbett showed it on his teaser for his video. He was playing as Celtica, which was an ahistorical formable, so he turned it on and people noticed that that blocked achievements. And I thought I don't like that. I like formables. I like all formables. Formables are great. So I said to the developers, look, can we make this achievement compatible? People are going to complain about this. And lo and behold, people were complaining a lot about it. And they said, yes, we will change this. This is a good idea. We'll change it. It's now going to be compatible. But it won't be compatible for release. It'll only be compatible after the first patch. And I'm assuming when we have a look at these patch notes, there is going to be one of them saying achievements are now compatible with ahistorical formables. But that didn't stop people complaining from release until, I assume, now, right? Because obviously they didn't see me saying that. They didn't see me passing that information along. Um, so yeah, that's essentially where we're at. There's a lot of things that have already been planned to be fixed but aren't fixed by release. But that doesn't really stop the community sentiment of I don't like this thing that is in the game on release. And they're right to complain about that. Just to be fair, I'm not saying that that's not the right thing to do. But I'm just explaining why that is like frustrating for me as a person who knows these things are gonna come and specifics that are gonna come, and it's seeing people complain about the things I know are gonna be fixed in like a few days. It's like, ugh. Anyway, all I'm saying is this new patch is terrible, and you shouldn't update to it because this is they. I'm so sorry. I feel like this is my fault. I feel like this is my fault because I played Navara in my video and I was like, oh, these advances are freaking amazing. Holy balls, they're actually kind of crooked. And I was talking about them in the creators Discord, and Johan was watching and he saw and he was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to change that. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry I ruined it for everyone. But anyway, there was a Tinto talk, of course, on Thursday yesterday, where Yuan basically said, what's going to happen now? And the main thrust of what's going to happen now is the fact that Paradox is now or Paradox Tinto, very specifically, is going to start using a custodian team like what is happening at Solaris. They're going to be working with a split team where some are working on patches just to improve the player experience, and another part of the team works on future improvements, additions, and DLC content. That's fantastic. That's a great idea. And the obviously the improving the player experience things like, I mean, bug fixes are going to be a part of that, but also working on tweaking the UI and changing UI things to be more in line with what people are liking and enjoying and wanting, and hopefully that's going to be what we're going to get. That would be kind of nice. But yeah, after release, the first thing that they're going to be doing is working on things that absolutely negatively impact everyone, right? Crashes, bugs, things not working as intended, all of that's going to be prioritized. It's going to be the future where we're going to be hoping to expect like more contentful updates. I'm not expecting content drops as patches, but you know what I mean. We're going to have those kind of things happening with the team right now. They're going to focus on the patches, basically everyone. This is how I'm assuming it at least. And then they're going to start splitting off into we're working on the future. We're going to continue working on fixing things. But that's cool. That is perfectly. I'm very happy with it. But yeah, I am very happy with the release. It was smoother than I thought it would be, and look, 77,000 concurrent Steam players on Steam is it's beneath CK3, but CK is a little bit more, I would say, hyped up, honestly. That game got 99,000, we got 77,000. That's fine. This is a better game, better franchise. That's what I'm content with that. But anyway, let's go and have a look at the patch notes now. So Royagi delivering them to us. They're going to be working on future patches. They're delivering this one relatively quick and dirty because there are a bunch of fixes. Achievements should be functioning as intended now. So basically, a lot of people were playing the game in Iron Man achievement compatible mode, and then they just got half of the available achievements all in one go for free. It's the reason I have 0 achievements, by the way, because I saw this happening. I'm like, I kind of want to get all of my achievements on stream, and I don't want that to happen. I don't want the cheap experience. I'm obviously not blaming anyone for having this bug happen to them. It's obviously not their fault, but I don't want that. So now that this is fixed, now I'm going to start doing the achievements. But we're gonna have a look at some of the changes. So, fix the scope type for achievement triggers, which was triggering several errors along with many other minor fixes to them, activating the allow a historical game rule doesn't block achievements. That is fantastic news, obviously. Fix the crash to desktop, obviously great. Several fixes to personal unions, especially AI union law voting, making it less spammy. Hopefully this also applies to defensive league vote spamming. That would be nice. Fix an issue making the Timbered spawning player event not work properly. The claim French throne peace treaty during the 100 Years' War situation no longer requires you to be senior in a PU already. I didn't even know that one was a thing. The events that convert Hussite pups for Bohemia during the Hussite War situation are now converting much more aggressively and impactfully. I didn't find that it was not. I don't know if anyone on this watching this video has been following that, but I've been playing Bohemia over on Twitch and uploading to the VOD channel. Link in the description if you want to go and see how that one's been going. But I didn't find that it was slow. But if we're gonna get more aggressive Hussite conversions, then that's pretty cool. Japanese clans now properly lose their clan's foreign buildings when being landed after the Sengoku Jidai starts. Okay, so a bit of fix for Japan. Naval-based countries now shattered just like army-based countries when they lose all their units. I thought that was like the whole point of naval-based countries, so they were just non-functional then. Ruler's admin ability now reduces proximity distance. That's fantastic. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like diplomacy is the weakest, or has been always the weakest. Now diplomacy is like cemented as the weakest of the skills, in my opinion. I think military and admin are definitely up there. Those are also the ones that have the most impactful, in my opinion, cabinet jobs. But Ruler's admin ability reducing prox distance makes this the most impactful admin skill. Most impactful ruler skill. By far, that's amazing. Conquistador countries now always have a crown estate. Cool. Union of Crowns succession now properly displays the ruler of the other country as your heir. Also additional scores for the male descendant of your ruler, as they should have priority over foreign king. Okay, I'm not sure what this one is. I don't think I've played with Union of Crowns succession. Location cabinet actions now finish in the first month instead of waiting an extra one. I've noticed this. That was kind of annoying, but it is what it is. Fruit wineries production method correctly use fruit instead of rice as an input. Okay. Fixed estate building roads across straits. No, I didn't know this was a thing, but I like this. Look. Venice is nerfed really hard because they are not able to build a road in Venice or to Venice or anything of the sort, which means that you're missing out on 25% development boost, and that's painful. But that's been fixed, sadly. Fixed estates losing all their gold on monthly ticks if the loan capacity was below the max loan capacity. Okay. Bug with automated trade capacity not being properly updated when the overall merchant capacity goes down. All right. Rebalance Bay Fortress, so that is Ottomans are the Bay Fortress, I think. I'm not sure, actually. I've not played around with them too much. Civil war countries can no longer be invited to defensive leagues. Okay, I didn't know that was a thing either. Added diplomatic action for overlords to intervene in a subject war. I mean, I thought that was already there. I'm pretty sure that was already there, but whatever. If a subject is in a war without their overlord helping, they get reduced subject loyalty. The time before an overlord can join the subject civil war has been reduced from 12 months to 6 months. Oof. I'm to blame for this part at all, and I guess people complained about it potentially, or it just got rebalanced after all. Subjects can choose not to call in their overlord into wars that they start. Okay. Subject type allowed declaring wars is now a trigger instead of a simple yes or no. Fixed annull treaties treaty name. It no longer cancels subjects. Damn, I did not know that that was a thing. Precedent Union peace treaties are no longer usable on non-war leader participants. Well, hopefully you can actually use them on the war leader now, because that was a bug that was there. Support air country interaction can now only target characters who actually have the target country's eligible air religion. Impact of unions on royal marriage acceptance now scales with the power of the union members. Fixed antagonism with distance. Fixed an instance where the player is not informed that their ally broke the alliance between their countries. I've noticed this a lot. That's very annoying. Conquistadors now have Diplo range before they conquer anywhere. Marriage unions now probably break when one of the couples dies. Updated the leaving message for marriage unions to no longer give the country is joined a new union. All right. Chase army objective created via right click on army now properly ignores enemy strength. I didn't know it wasn't ignoring that. Fixed space issues in the war pop up. Hostile troops have further impact on prosperity. Okay, interesting. Declaring a war against a subject and having good relations with the subject and overlord no longer gives good relations penalty twice. Okay, interesting. So getting a stab hit for that no longer a thing. That's good. The modifier utility from policies is now only a fifth of as an important factor for voting for policy for the AI. Okay. Parliament of the Unions now maintains parliamentary support when it merges. Colonies now have a force flip threshold at 50k instead of 25k. Conquistadors should always be Catholic. That's sadness. I don't know. I was unhappy that I couldn't do conquistadorings as a Lutheran, but now it's. I mean, I felt like it already was, but I guess now they are not allowed to convert. Earldom of Ulster is restored to being a vassal of the Pale. Changed back the raw material of Jakimov location to lumber, so Bohemian deity silver found in Jakimov makes sense once again. Starting exploration template for Serbia, Bulgaria, and others now correctly has the Libyan sea area discovered. All right. Move dynasties from Turban Rebellion to be in setup instead of being created during the situation so they can properly scripted coat of arms. Move the city centers of Varan, Gdansk, and Malbork to the proper locations. That makes sense. A lot of people complaining about the Danzig location for sure. Added a few Danish dynamic names. Corrected the father of Nienamoriro of Kitara. All right. So, end of the War of Religions now makes the HRA choose a new leader country. Clarified the tooltip for the vote progress for the Western Schism. This is huge. I struggled so much to understand what was going on when I was playing as the Papal States. So, huge. Hopefully, this is as much of an improvement as it needs to be. Demand member removal will have a shorter truce timer to give the leaders more flexibility when declaring war of religions. Claim French throne peace treaty during the 100 Years' War no longer requires you to be EU already. We read that one. Issue with the sponsor spiritual protection modifiers breakdown for the Great Pestilence. Issue with tooltips. Issue with tooltips. Fixed an issue that hid the repeal segregate infected action. Great Pestilence. Number of deaths now displayed correctly. Good. Embrace Reformation now removes the character modifier for Placitum Regium. This is the getting a free bonus of Crown Power. But I'm removing that. Yeah, you basically got the Crown Power for telling the Pope to sod off, and then you flipped Lutheran, and then you kept this bonus forever, or until death at least. Fix an issue with erroneous pop-up messages performing actions in the Great Pestilence situation. All right. Let me just turn this down on my end and up on your end. There we go. 100 Years War CB provides to England and France now allows taking land owned by subjects of either war leader, even outside the French region. This is Flanders. This is 100% Flanders. This is only Flanders. That's huge. Using the... Actually, it might also be France taking, like, Wales or something. CB provided to England and France now allows... Okay, yeah. Using assist foreign revolutionaries during the People's Uprising situation, no longer visible. Okay, same thing, same thing. Negotiate member removal, no longer targets the leaders of the other league. Block the AI from violating Treaty of Tordesillas if they're already unable to colonize. This will stop the spam of Treaty of Tordesillas has become a thing, and then everyone in Europe's like, nah, fuck you. Even though like that costs them prestige, and you're not colonizing anyway. Please stop. Japanese clans probably lose clans from, but we've read that one. Hussite war situation can now happen over an extended time period. It already could. It already could. I don't know. Western Schism action show unity of faith, now slightly worse at converting people. Tordesillas claiming conflict area will no longer display broken requirements. Restored situation, breakdown texture, reordered effects of introducing new goods in Colombian exchange situation to improve clarity. I was hoping for removed prestige requirements for moving goods, but oh well. Negotiate member removal no longer targets Emperor of the HRE. Okay, that's interesting. Claim French throne peace treaty in the 100 Years' War now requires England to have a great power score, greater great power score than France. So you can't do it in the First War for sure. Reorganize elements of the Colombian exchange, fall in line with how other situation elements are ordered. Italian wars action send aid has a cooldown. Little Ice Age situation starving provinces. Horrible icon now displays the list of starving provinces. Good. Correct tooltip there. Remove duplicate end requirements. Little Ice Age now as a hint. Good. Representation for colonial subject can only be used on subjects who have the appropriate policy to change. Raise Bay Fortress is now only be possible when you're not at war, have no loans, and not in bankruptcy. Now has better instructions for the AI. Now better evaluate the proximity of the chosen location. Okay. It now costs 100 instead of 400 gold. Better calculations for the country to be vassalized in the event of the rise of the Turks. Okay, so when like I say, I haven't played as the Ottomans yet, but I did watch the video by ISP, and he got basically everyone in Anatolia as his vassal peacefully, and he just used the freaking automated diplomats automation. So yeah, funny. Event that converts Hussite pops for Bohemia during the Hussite war situation, now converting much more aggressively. Okay, I read that one already. Fixed a hint. Fixed an issue with decline of empire, making your capital rebel. So maybe we'll stop seeing Byzantine noble empire or something like that all the time, and they just take Constantinople through rebellion. It's annoying. AI will only start votes on policies if they're not too happy with the current policy. So the spam of I mean, this will be defensive leagues as well. That's fantastic. AI will only try to push for seniority in the union if any other member is a neighbor to them. Okay. Senior partner AI no longer initialize policies which federalizes the union. Rejection of policy vote will no longer remove the enacted law. Increased government power cost of the Lordship of Ireland. CB. Fixed a bug with the Lordship of Ireland's bestow lieutenant status was not selectable. IO, such as the autocephalous patriarchate, no longer have the laws revoked by AI. Stuff and things. So Regency is the only with the player of Lordship of Ireland, blah blah blah. Proper reasons for country to join autocephalous patriarchates. Good. That was annoying. Playing as an Orthodox country and having people join and not join. Ew. Yeah, seeing reasons for that would be very nice, very useful indeed. Demand unlawful territory can no longer be used in civil war countries. Okay. You can also demand it from countries that aren't in the HRE. It's just basically anyone who has land that isn't cored. You could do it on, which hopefully that's also something that's changed. More unit succession law stuff. Nerfed very high life expectancies of some of the Frenchmen. Yeah, good. Migration caused by plight of Cahokia event resulting in extreme depopulation. I saw some people commenting on this on Reddit. Their cohesion went below 40, and then they had an event that was like 40,000 people will migrate away every single month for the next 16 months, and he's there sitting with 180,000 pop, thinking that's not a lot of time, and ending up with a single dude in his country. Very funny. Fixed an issue with the event wave synchronization. Good. This is huge because this basically allowed Europeans to start becoming Sinicized, which was kind of funny. Adjusted triggers with the Treaty of Hadiak. Some more event things. Robber Baron's modifier is more in line with other effects like it. Good. Basically, this was an impossible country to play, so hopefully that's more fixed. Event for the two Sicilies reunited also works if the player has a regency. Okay. I suppose regency is fairly easy to have, considering the ruler of Naples starts very old and their heir is very young, as in not an adult. So that makes sense. Graduates of Collegium Helveticum, so Switzerland, are now better. Okay. Couple events around the Sistine Chapel. Now check that you're not in a bankruptcy. How do you go into a bankruptcy as the Pope? Is that even possible? Crazy. Rise of Timber now automatically starts the Rise of Timber situation. There's no awkward situation. Being able to conquer locations without having the auto flip from the situation. Okay. Government stuff. Buff the Iron Ring. This is the Welsh one that basically you got a buff to your forts, but your buildings cost like 50% extra. That sucked. So buffing that, huge. Let's see. Fixed opposing country modifiers being true, strengthen right to burghers, and curtail burghers' privileges. Descriptions now display the correct estate. Okay, during the Order of the Swan now grants monthly religious influence. That's really kind of nice, actually. Might look to do that. Renamed Canton to Canton. All right. Economy. Portuguese Feitoria building is a proper foreign building. Okay, good. Diplomacy. Subjects with limited diplomacy cannot declare a no CB war. It's wild that they could, actually. Colonial nations can declare war against countries with capitals on their own continent. They couldn't. I'm pretty sure I did that with when in my Naples game. I had my American colony declare on the Haudenosaunee. Either way. Adjusted AI weights for considering royal marriages due to union size. Okay. Ask your election support no longer spanned by AI. Good! Oh my god, the Poles did that so much in my Bohemia game. Demanded unlawful territory no longer does nothing when it tries to target a core province, and additionally only targets provinces in the HRE. Good. Requirements to upgrade to duchy now point to the correct diplomatic action for HRE countries. Good. New tooltip for conquistadors. Remove manpower from conquistadors. They start with some initial money. Fix the Kothon Carthaginian in advance so it correctly reduces shipbuilding speed by 20%. Leith is happy. Achievements, I haven't done any yet, but activating allow ahistorical now doesn't block any achievements. Huge. Unlock tooltips when hovering over achievements. Fixed description of spice must flow. Corrected Manchurian candidate. Fixed brother in arms. Fixed achievements. Other, removed a broken dynamic tooltip from People's Uprising. Excommunication no longer blocks its own request to lift the action completely. Interesting. Declining vassalage through demand from the country now imposes 5-year cooldown. Okay, so just stop you from being spammed by bullshit. And then the onboarding missions stuff fixed there. Balance fixes. Cores now decay for countries who are no longer relevant if they cease to exist. All right. Prosperity decline from being occupied has been reduced from 5 to 1% a month. Impact from bankruptcy now scales down over 5 years. That's huge. And bankruptcy no longer impacts prosperity. That's huge. Basically, I mean, you saw if you were watching my Bohemia run on Twitch, England went bankrupt and their entire country went to absolute shit in like span of not very much time at all. They had London at 100 control, and then the rest of their country at 0. 100% or 0% prosperity, just absolute shit heap. Horrible stuff. So yeah, this looks like a really nice fix for, I mean, other people obviously having the same issue as I did. Can now always call an ally into war even beyond the first year is, I don't know about that one. If the AI always says no after a year, that's fine. But being able to ask, that's good. I mean, for like multiplayer, for sure, that'd be useful. Fixes so only progressing sieges and occupations can block levy recruitment, not a single unit. Good. Fighting a war together now grants explicit food access. Oh, thank God, that's nice. Advances for Navarre are now more in line with other countries. The sadness is infinite. Balancing of military contribution, nerfed some sources of monthly prosperity from, I can't pronounce that, governor reforms. Optimization for increasing area control. Okay. Diplomacy A will no longer release tiny subjects. Sometimes that's useful, though. They're now better at releasing and or giving away land with zero proximity to vassals. That's good. They'll no longer use invade neighbor Bailic action, which gives CBs on neighbors with a truce. They now annex multiple subjects at the same time, as long as the opinion of ongoing annexations is maxed out and not progressing slower than base speed. Ottomans are now likely to use invade neighbor action. They'll now prioritize attacking neighbors they have CBs against rather than making them subjects via diplomacy. They're now no longer sent. Oh, wait, is this one of the reasons that nothing ever happens? That's interesting. Okay. They no longer send alliance offers that would break immediately after. Fixed AI and automation changing the economy slider every time when they're at war with negative income. AI modifier support for harbor capacity modifier. All right. Anything? Okay. Wait. If building market centers and buildings. Okay. AI gets stuck in the economy. Building buildings costing special currencies. I was hoping to see something about the oh wait, hang on. They'll avoid bad weather with affiliates. AOE wanted to repair levy ships. Could get stuck waiting to siege a castle that was defended by a strong force. Low priorities of naval objectives. Disloyal subjects will now continue to merge their small armies during war is a huge one, actually. It makes France way stronger. No, what I was hoping to see was AI will be less inclined to take random, like, treaty ports in the middle of the enemy country, rather than taking, like, a solid province. I've seen that a lot with France. Some interface stuff as well. Some interface icons, don't really care about that. Map modes. Province capital map markers. Oh, yes, thank you. So huge. So huge. Some alert fixes. Alert. I just want, my war alert. I'm at war. My war button. I want that in the bottom right. Some panel fixes. Stuff and things. I don't think there's anything. Control click functionality to move all subunits at the same time to another flank. That's kind of nice. That's huge, actually. That's huge. Okay. All right. I like that. Outliner fixed multiplayer players entry. Okay. Some tooltips have been fixed. Some flags have been fixed. Some illustrations have been fixed. And then some other stuff. Tweak the multiplayer chat start position. Okay. But yeah. Modding stuff also changed. Some translation changes. Huge for those people. Some bug fixes, miscellaneous stuff. Okay. That's cool. That's cool. That's a lot of stuff. That is a lot of stuff. But yeah. The first patch out of, I'm assuming, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, because that's like how these games go. I'm expecting this game to last a decade. So, yeah, the first of many. But who are you going to play after this patch? Is there anything in here like, damn, this is what was stopping me from playing? I'm going to go play it now. Let me know in the comments. I think I'm going to be playing a little bit more England. My Bohemian... I mean, one thing that was said in here by Yuan was essentially that they want to make patches save game compatible. Here, very strict policy at Paradox Tinto that any update should be save game compatible. So, I can go and continue playing my Bohemia game without issue. That's going to be fine. But there are some countries that you may want to start again because the fix has been so impactful. So Bohemia might have actually been one of them. Apparently, I missed all of the problems with the Hussite Wars, but, maybe they're even stronger now, as if they needed it. But anyway, let me know in the comments what you think. I am going to go and play some games, and I will see you soon, probably, maybe. Thanks all for watching, and bye-bye.